Adam lived a simple life. He worked at the library, surrounded by the comforting silence of books. He enjoyed his routines, the predictability of his days. He wasn't lonely, not exactly. He cherished his solitude. His apartment was small but tidy. He liked it that way, everything in its place, a sense of order in a chaotic world. He felt safe within its walls, at least he used to. Adam was a creature of habit. Dinner at 7 p.m., always a simple affair. Reading before bed, often losing himself in stories of faraway lands. He liked the escape they offered. The real world could be unsettling. His life was quiet, and that was just how he liked it. Rain lashed against the windows, a steady drumbeat against the silence of his apartment. The wind howled, a mournful cry that sent shivers down Adam's spine. He pulled the blanket tighter, seeking warmth from the sudden chill in the air. The insistent ping of his phone cut through the sounds of the storm. Adam groaned, his sleep disturbed. He reached for the device, squinting at the unfamiliar brightness of the screen. Who would be messaging him at this hour? He saw the notification, an unknown number. His heart pounded in his chest, a frantic rhythm against his ribs. A sense of unease settled over him, cold and unwelcome. He opened the message, his finger trembling slightly. He wished he hadn't. The words on the screen seemed to burn themselves into his retinas. "We are watching you." A simple sentence, yet it sent a wave of fear crashing over him. He reread the message, hoping he had misread it. He hadn't. His mind raced, trying to make sense of the impossible. Was it a prank? A wrong number? But the chilling certainty of the word sent a shiver down his spine. It felt deliberate, targeted. His quiet life, the one he had so carefully constructed, felt like it was crumbling around him. He gripped the phone tighter, his knuckles turning white. Fear, sharp and cold, began to take root in his stomach. Who was watching him and why? As if in answer to his unspoken question, the phone in his hand vibrated again. He flinched, almost dropping the device. His eyes darted to the screen. The camera app was open, the lens staring back at him like a malevolent eye. He hadn't touched the camera icon, he hadn't even unlocked his phone, and yet there it was, active and recording his every move. He felt a surge of panic, a primal instinct to run, to hide. He fumbled with the phone, trying to turn it off, but the screen remained stubbornly lit, the camera still recording. His reflection stared back at him, his face pale and drawn, eyes wide with terror. He was trapped, caught in the gaze of an unseen observer. He had to get rid of the message. He had to erase the evidence. It was a foolish thought, he knew, but he clung to it with desperate hope. Maybe if he deleted the message, it would all go away. He jabbed at the screen, his finger hovering over the delete button. But his hand trembled, making it impossible to hit the tiny icon. The room seemed to spin, the walls closing in on him. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He tried again, forcing his finger to move with more precision. He managed to delete the message. For a fleeting moment, relief washed over him. Then, with chilling swiftness, the message reappeared. "We are watching you." The words seemed to mock him, daring him to try again. Another message flashed on the screen, appearing below the first. "You have 6 hours to find out why." 6 hours! The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken threat. 6 hours to uncover the truth behind the menacing message, to find out who was tormenting him. He didn't know where to begin. He was just Adam, a librarian who lived a quiet, ordinary life. He had no enemies, no secrets, at least none that he could think of. The rain continued to beat against the windows, a relentless reminder of the storm raging outside. But the storm inside Adam's apartment, the one brewing in his chest, was far more terrifying. He had 6 hours. 6 hours to unravel the mystery, to find out who was behind the messages or face the consequences. What those consequences might be, he couldn't even begin to imagine. The minutes ticked by, each one an agonizing reminder of the shrinking time. He paced his small apartment, his mind a whirlwind of fear and confusion. He tried to think logically, to find a rational explanation for the messages, for the camera turning on by itself. He checked his phone for any other signs of intrusion, for any clues. He found nothing. The unknown number remained, a silent threat lurking in his contacts. He glanced at the time, 5 hours left. The storm outside was beginning to ease, the rain subsiding to a steady drizzle. He went to the window, peering out into the darkness. The streetlights cast an eerie glow on the wet pavement. He scanned the street, his heart pounding in his chest. Was someone out there watching him? His breath hitched. Across the street, partially obscured by the shadows of a tall oak tree, stood a figure. A lone figure, shrouded in darkness, the dim light reflecting off something on their face. A mask. He couldn't make out any details, but the figure was unmistakably looking directly at him. At his window. At him. He felt a surge of adrenaline, his body instinctively understanding the danger before his mind could catch up. He stumbled back from the window, his heart pounding in his ears. He was being watched. The message hadn't lied. Fear, raw and primal, coursed through him. Who was this masked figure, and what did they want? He stayed hidden in the shadows, his eyes glued to the figure across the street. They hadn't moved. They were still there, watching, waiting. The rain dripped from the brim of their hat, a steady rhythm that mirrored the frantic beating of his heart. 4 hours. He had 4 hours left. 4 hours to unravel the mystery of the masked figure, to understand why he was being watched. The weight of the unknown pressed down on him, suffocating him with its intensity. He couldn't take his eyes off the figure. He didn't dare. He was trapped both physically and mentally by the silent threat across the street, the watchful eye in the darkness. The game had begun, and Adam was a pawn, caught in a web of fear and uncertainty.